Thanks very much, Don. Pleasure to be in front of this audience. I think I am the 22nd speaker so far for today, so big thank you for hanging in for this long, and I'll do everything I can to stay on time. So 1 year ago when we were in this room, the Astral story, I made 5 commitments. I went back and had a look at my notes. The first commitment was we were going to close in on the 1 million ounces at Astral Resources. We actually have achieved that, so I'm going to give our business a tick for that. The second thing was we were looking to improve our understanding of Thea, which is our main ore body. We actually drilled 18 diamond drill holes into Thea last year, and we actually averaged 97 gram metres of gold per hole again across that entire program. So again, that's a solid tick. We're still learning, but we're getting good at targeting these high grades within Thea. Thirdly, we spoke about drilling out our EOS paleo channel. We got a 190% increase in resources and a 33% increase in grade, achieved that commitment. And then we spoke about drilling a target west of Thea. We did, it's now called Hestia. We've subsequently done 2 drill programs there. We put a resource on it. We've done some additional infill and indicated it, and that's going to grow again with our next resource. And finally, our 5th commitment that we made last year in this room is that we were going to drill our Fayetteville program. We did a Fayetteville drill program. We did 4,000 metres, and we've got some really promising targets that we want to infill. So the reason I make that distinction is we were here a year ago. We made our 5 commitments. We've delivered them. I'm going to talk to you again, and I'm going to deliver those commitments that I make today as well. So a little bit of background. Our projects are in the Kalgoorlie-Kambalda region. This region is home to some pretty serious major mining houses. You've got BHP, Northern Star Resources, Evolution Mining and Goldfields. 2 projects that we have in this area, and we're actively exploring both. The first project is Mandilla. It's right next door to the Coolgardie-Esperance Highway, so very good access to infrastructure, and it's 22 kilometres from Goldfields' 4.7 million tonne per annum St Ives process plant. And Mandilla is now over 1 million ounces. It is the largest deposit in this region that is held by a junior explorer. Our second project is Fayetteville. It's 14 kilometres south of Kalgoorlie. Northern Star are our neighbour to the immediate north there. And in December of last year at Mandilla, we declared our 4th mineral resource update. We hit that 1 million ounce mark, and we're going to start a new resource update again in the month of June and look to deliver that early in the September quarter. From a structural controls perspective, Mandilla is somewhat complicated, but we are genuinely improving our understanding, and the first 5 diamond drill holes that we've actually released this year, we're averaging 114 gram metres of gold across those 5 holes. We averaged 97 last year. We are still continuing to improve, and the results suggest that this year. And finally, last year we did 45,000 metres of drilling. We are 5 months into 2023, and we will have completed 30,000 metres by the time the rigs demobilise in June. Ray made some comments about teams and getting the right people. We've been together, this technical and management team, we've been together for 6 years. We did 3 years at Egan Street Resources and now 3 years as Astral Resources, the exact same team. We are committed to delivering an outcome that is profitable for our shareholders, just like we delivered at Egan Street. Now, just focusing in on Mandilla, the image on your right shows the Mandilla tenement package over the local aerogeology. We've added 1 million ounces there in 3 years. The projects are made up of 4 different deposits, and Thea is the main game. There's 878,000 ounces in one large open pit, and with the results that we've been putting out since the resource update, there is no doubt that this thing continues to grow. EOS is a paleo channel deposit. We actually drilled some holes underneath the paleo channel earlier this year. That's tested and come back as positive. And that is interesting because Thea started its life as a paleo channel deposit. We've now got an 878,000 ounce deposit underneath it. EOS is a paleo channel. We've tested the fresh rock potential and there's gold, and we're now drilling it again with another 12 holes. And then finally, Hestia, that's our newest discovery. We've just finished an extension and infill program there, and we are confident when we do the next update, that's going to have an increase in both scale and grade. So last year, the 45,000 metres of drilling, it was a good year for us in terms of drill results. I'm only putting a number of the results that we've had here, mindful that it's hard to see from all the way back there. But we added 250,000 ounces, so 250,000 ounces, and we spent $16 per ounce to actually build that resource. So very cost-effective drilling. At Thea, we had 25 metres at 11 grams per tonne, 32 metres at 5.4 grams per tonne, and then we actually drilled along the plunge of the mineralisation, and we got a 283 gram metre hole. So just to explain gram metres, because I use that expression quite a bit, you basically get your intersection length and you times it by your grade, and that gives you gram metres, and then we're summing every single intersection down the length of that hole. So for the 283 gram metre, 16 times 2.1 plus 25 times 2 plus 17 times 2.6 grams per tonne plus 41 times 1.7 grams per tonne, etc., 283 gram metres of gold. So that is a tremendous amount of gold down the length of one drill hole. Then moving on to EOS, that's a paleo channel, so it's a flat-lying mineralisation, 3 metres at 11.8 grams per tonne, 2 metres at 13.4 grams per tonne. And then that initial drill program that we did at Hestia delivered us 6 metres at 7, 1 metre at 26. So really good drill results. Now we're 5 months into 2023. As I said, by the time we get to June, we would have drilled 30,000 metres in this calendar year already. At Thea, we've reported 5 diamond drill holes, and we're averaging 114 gram metres across those 5. We thought last year was a great result, and we averaged 97. We are doing better in 2023. We had a 250 gram metre hole in drill hole 660 and 187 gram metre hole in drill hole 675. Again, just making the point, that is a lot of gold mineralisation being identified down the length of these drill holes. We also have got an RC program which is testing the eastern flank of Thea, and we've got some good results coming back from there, 61 metres at 1.5 grams per tonne. So really broad and good grade hits. And then the Hestia infill program delivered us 10 metres at 6, 6 metres at 6, 8 at 4 and 9 at 3. So that drilling that we did last year gave us, we then updated our resource in December of last year. This slide here is basically showing the block model, the pit shell, and then those white transparent rectangles are just giving you an understanding of the sectional lines that I'm going to show you over the next couple of slides. So there's only 2 slides of sections that I'll show. A couple of important notes. This mineral resource is constrained within a pit that is constrained by a $2,500 gold price. So these resources are constrained within a pit. The cut-off grades and the gold price assumptions haven't changed since we did our first resource estimate in May 2021. We have, and we will continue to generate authentic exploration growth. We're not going to fiddle with assumptions to get a bigger number. The numbers are what they are, and we will continue to grow using those assumptions. So at Thea, we had a 33% increase in the resource to 878,000 ounces, and with the drilling to date, very confident that it's going to continue to grow. At EOS, 190% increase in the resource, 33% increase in grade. And then at Hestia, we actually did a program. We got our maiden mineral resource there, and subsequent to that, we've been drilling. I'm not sure, does that work? We've been drilling just outside the pit optimisation to actually convert those unclassified resources into resources, and that's going to demonstrate some significant growth when we next update. Here we go. So we've been drilling at Mandilla since the 25th of January. 22,000 metres have been drilled so far, another 8,500 metres to go, which we will conclude by the end of June, and that'll be the end of our current programs. The first image that you can see is a long projection of Thea. So we're looking along the length of Thea. There's diamond drill hole 660 returned 39 metres at 2.1, 25 metres at 1.1, 44 metres at 1.9. So that's going to add resources within the existing pit shell and extend it at depth. The second image on your right is now a cross-section looking at Thea. We've got drill hole 675 in the centre of the ore body, 664, which is on the western flank, and then you can see to the far right there's some RC results that we've been putting out as well. So that 675 drill hole returned 13 metres at 3, 24 metres at 2.4, 29 metres at 2.6. So a lot of hole down the guts of the ore body. 664, which is on the western flank, returned a wide zone of 52 metres at 0.8 and another 10 metres at 2.3 at the bottom of hole. And that's just outside the current optimisation. So it will actually allow us to grow that resource. And now when you look all the way to the right of that image, you can see 61 metres at 1.5 plus 58 metres at 1 gram. So we were testing that eastern flank. That's right alongside a previous result from last year of 61 metres at 1.1. So that eastern flank now is 250 metres of strike into and out of the page, and is going to give us a really nice bump in resources when we start that work starting in June for that eastern flank. So the year's gone off to a really good start, but I think there's every chance we're actually going to do even better going forward. So now we're looking at another long projection of Thea, but this is 40 metres to the northeast. So imagine 40 metres into the page, if you like. There's two drill traces there, 734 and 735, and each of those orange stars is where we've observed visible gold down the hole. So there's 13 instances where we've seen visible gold down the length of that hole. And to put it into context, where we drill hole 644, we had 283 gram metres of gold, and we saw gold 11 times down that hole. In drill hole 660, we had 253 gram metres of gold, and we saw gold 10 times down that hole. So whilst I'm not guaranteeing that these two intersections are going to be fantastic, because visible gold, you've got to get it into your assay and it's got to come back when you actually do your assay, it really is a fantastic start for us. If you're seeing visible gold, you should be getting a good intersection result from that. This next slide is a slide on Hestia. Only thing I really want to talk about there is we wanted to drill out that grey area there, get the drill spacing within a point so we could classify that into resource, and you can see the drill results there. So we've got a successful outcome there at Hestia as well. So now I just want to quickly pivot to Fayetteville. That's our second project. You can actually see the tenement package there. We are 14 kilometres from Kalgoorlie Northern Star's 92 million ounce super pit deposit. And realistically, this project just probably isn't getting the attention that it deserves. You can see there is a small resource there of 116,000 ounces at 1.3 grams per tonne, and that's all hosted at Think Big. Bear in mind, this area between the super pit to the north and St Ives to the south has got some really significant gold deposits and is probably some of the best gold endowed land in Australia. It's only 50 k's from Mandilla, so any ounces that we find at Fayetteville, we can truck to a process plant to be located at Mandilla. So this genuinely adds value to our business. And there's plenty of potential, historical results, 10 metres at 10 grams per tonne, 10 metres at 8.2 grams per tonne at Fayetteville where the resource is, outside of the resource area, 6 metres at 8 grams per tonne, 4 metres at 5.4, and then Camperman 13 metres at 9.1 grams per tonne. So we went and did the first drilling in over 3 years here in December of January last year and early this year. We only did a small 34-hole program for 4,000 metres, but we returned 10 metres at 4.6 at Camperman, 17 metres at 3 grams per tonne at Rogan Josh, which is a supergene, a high-grade supergene that we'd be keen to follow up. And then Ethereal, we've got 2 intersections there as well. So our plan is to head back to Fayetteville later this year and look to drill out some high-grade ounces that we can actually truck to Mandilla. So, in closing, we have a genuine 1 million ounce deposit in the heart of the goldfields that is continuing to grow. Thea is already the biggest deposit in our region still held by a junior miner. And with the new drilling that we've completed, it's definitely going to continue to grow. In an area that is as infrastructure rich as is Kalgoorlie-Kambalda region, Mandilla almost certainly gets developed. Last year we added 250,000 ounces and it was costing us $16 an ounce to bring those things into resources. We have completed 30,000 metres of drilling this year already, so we are not standing still. We'll have a new resource update out early in the September quarter. And our 2023 drill programs so far are absolutely demonstrating that there is more growth to come at Thea, Hestia and EOS. And then when you look at Fayetteville, that small drill program we did, there's definitely the opportunity for us to add multiple satellite ore sources that can feed into a Mandilla process plant. So we're rather simple at Astral Resources as a group, and we are single-mindedly focused on just building the critical mass we need to be able to develop our projects. Thank you.